welcome back. Let me quickly recap the information we're breaking first on Times Now. H.D. Revanna, father of Prajwal Revanna, has been picked up by the Karnataka S.I.T. Deepak Bopanna joining us. Deepak, he's been picked up from the Devagowda residence, taken to the S.I.T. headquarters where he will be questioned.
Yes, any moment now he's expected to reach the CID office there. He's going to be questioned on two primary FIRs where he's been mentioned as the accused number one. One is a case pertaining to kidnap of a woman who was allegedly a victim to sexual assault. That is, of course, involving his son Prajwal Revanna. The other is a woman actually claiming that Mr. Revanna as well sexually assaulted her. So at this point in time, a lot of challenges really lie ahead for the Revanna family now. A former minister, he's a sitting MLA. He's been picked up, and right now the wait, of course, still continues as far as Mr. Prajwal Revanna is concerned, who through his legal team had gone ahead and said that he needs 7 days to return to India, whereas the ticket that we actually managed to access suggests that he could be returning only on the 15th. Right. So whether he's going to prepone that and appear now with the his father being picked up, the pressure will definitely
Let's see how this unfolds. Deepak on the move already. You're trying to reach the CID office. Deepak, will let you go. Thank you for that input. Brinda Adige also joining us. Swapnil Kothari, noted advocate, with us live. Ms. Adige, your first thoughts on the crackdown?
I think they have done something very good, which they should have done earlier itself. And this move of arresting this man must also show to the victims that the government just now is very serious about addressing the case and is not going to let go of this Revanna and his son Prajwal Revanna. Prajwal Revanna seeking for 7 days, 8 days, 10 days is just rubbish. He should be brought back here immediately. Why hasn't the government yet cancelled his passport? And it is important that this father, H.D. Revanna, is kept in jail, is arrested. His bail should not be accepted by the court. The courts have a responsibility to strengthen the police and what the police are doing, especially the S.I.T. And if the courts don't support, then this man who has a lot of political clout is going to come out again and wield his own powers again.
Thank you, Mr. DJ, for speaking to us. Someone who knows the law, Dr. Vikram Singh, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, is also with us. Good evening. This is Pranesh. What do you make of this crackdown by the S.I.T? H.D. Revanna picked up. Prajwal obviously has fled India.
Good evening, Pranesh. It is a matter of tremendous satisfaction that the S.I.T has done a favor to itself by arresting this high-profile, well-connected, accused, depraved monster, to say the least. My advice again would be to invoke the provisions of the National Security Act, subclause public order, so that he doesn't get bail and is not out because of courtcraft. He has to be behind bars. He has to cooperate with the investigation, give all the lurid details of how I was able to procure the presence of so many women and what was the purpose of making these video clips. It is an unmitigated disaster, I would say, and the police need to go behind the eyeballs of this man as to what was the perversion. Was he into some industry? Was he into some kind of a trade or business proposition? But yes, one has to get to the bottom of this murky affair so that the light of the day comes out and there is no more such depravity, and helpless and trusting women are not targeted.
Right. Dr. Singh, thank you for speaking to us, and we'll keep calling you for more as we go along on this. Mr. Kothari, good evening. How do you look at this case, the charges of sexual misconduct involving several women? First man picked up, Prajwal Revanna. Obviously, he is not in India.
Well, I think, Pranesh, the first thing that the police should have ensured is that this Prajwal Revanna does not escape the frontiers of this country. His passport should have been impounded as a preventive measure. Now, it's no point bolting the stable after the horse has, latching the stable after the horse has bolted. So, be that as it may, we've got the father. All the details should come out. I think there should be more and more stringent custody for a longer period of time until all of this comes out. Pranesh, my issue is more so the fact that after this media attention draws down and goes to other matters, I believe that this matter should be pursued by Times Now for a certain period of time until it reaches somehow its logical conclusion. Because what happens is that these politicians, especially with tremendous clout, know that the media attention is short. And once that is away, then they try all tricks in the book to get bail, to get some sterling treatment even when they are in a prison, and they can try to tamper the evidence and browbeat the witnesses. I don't know what sort of women these were, possibly people from the lower rungs of society, or even somewhere in the middle class where they can be easily browbeaten. So my issue is not as much as what the police is doing now. My issue is the fact that the courts have to ensure that the police get the assistance whatever the courts can give in this matter, and the media spotlight continues in it. You've broken the story, fantastic. I would want you to continue this for a certain period of time, even half an hour a day, to see and try to keep progress. That way, the police and of course the courts will be cognizant, but courts have tremendous too many matters. But the police will be more cautious of the fact that Times Now it's on its trail. And the Times Now is keeping watch on us as to what we are doing. Today we've done something good. Hope we continue to do good, because otherwise, Gabbar Singh Times Now aa jayega. That is the way it has to be. Because otherwise, all these kind of things will just die down in the media. And this, sooner than later, you'll see to it that these people will not have that kind of attention, or should I say, detention, more so than attention, in a wrong way. So that is something which is very, very essential.
Swapnil, you heard Dr. Vikram Singh there. He was telling us about the court craft. As a seasoned advocate, what should the S.I.T. do to ensure that, a watertight case is built so that the victims can at least have a chance at justice?
First of all, Pranesh, that's a fantastic question. What you need to do is you need to ensure that all the evidence that is there at hand is there with you. 2, all the witnesses are secure and protected. They are not browbeaten. They are not tampered with, as we say, in as far as any, say, video or anything of that is concerned. It's not erased or anything of that sort. Because I believe if some women were molested, what was the idea behind this? Was there some sort of trafficking going on? Was there some sort of a perversion? Was there some sort of a fetish? What is it? And why so many women at one go, or one after the other, for that matter? Once you do that, you've covered your basics. Then you've ensured and assured the court that regardless of what the defense team may do, here and there, talk law, here and there, this, that, and the other, but then there is stringent evidence to ensure that these people, whoever they are accused or whatever they are accused of, there is teeth in the matter, and they do not escape the clutches of the law, at least for a certain period of time. See, what happens, Pranesh, is that ultimately at the end of the day, you will have to give bail. You cannot, unless you convict them. So until then, to ensure that more and more information comes out and they really face the wrath of the law, you at least try to see to it that they are behind bars at least for 3 to 4 months, if not more. After some time, bail is the norm and jail is the exception. So even if it's a heinous crime or anything of that sort, still people get out after 5, 6 years or so. I don't know what sort of crime this is, whether it belongs to the heinous category or assault. Was it assault? Was it rape? I don't know. If it was rape, obviously it's heinous. If it was assault, in the gradation under the IPC, it comes a little lower than rape. So I believe that one has to ensure that one has enough material at hand to ensure for a longer period of custody so that at least significant amount of justice is met. I don't want to name people, but you and I have done many debates, Pranesh, and you know that some people were involved for the murder of their offsprings, and they've spent a longer time in jail than what we thought that they would.
Right.
So in some ways, the justice has been met.
Now, let's talk about Prajwal Revanna. He's out, out of the country, and if I can use the phrase that, out from the clutches of law. So far, because the S.I.T. team is completely clueless about his whereabouts. Deepak, have you been able to gather anything, leads that the S.I.T. team is tracking? There are reports that the S.I.T. team believes that the CBI will be issuing a blue corner notice against Prajwal Revanna.
Well, the SIT has written to the CBI, Pranesh, to inform the Interpol and get a blue corner notice issued. But that hasn't, of course, happened because it has been only a few hours since this mail has reached the CBI, and whether this case warrants it and whether they have enough material to do something like this. This is also something that needs to be looked into. So that's another aspect. Now, with the SIT actually going ahead and questioning Mr. Revanna and a possible arrest as well on the cards, whether this will probably have Mr. Prajwal Revanna come to the country and appear before the CID for questioning and face the process of the law. This is also something that's a very high possibility at this point.
Okay, Mr. Kothari, how should the SIT team proceed as far as nabbing Prajwal Revanna? That is concerned, because at the moment they don't know anything.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, Pranesh, whether they don't know anything. But, I'm sure if the police want to find even a needle in a haystack in this entire country, they can do it if they really want to and if they're determined. At the end of the day, if they really, really want to do so, they can do that. And they can also try to find out the people, even if whatever part of the world they are in, there is a red corner notice, there is an Interpol assistance, there is a lookout circular. Several things are there available at the hands of the SIT in association with the global police, as we say. So I don't think it should be difficult for them to find out someone if they really want to find out someone, and that person they have to ensure that he comes back. But obviously, I would not suggest extradition at the moment because we don't know whether that person has decided to stay back there. But obviously, arresting the father will have some effect because obviously calling in for the SIT has taken the first step. It is doing the investigation. I'm sure it'll arrest the father, and then if the father and son were together involved in this, then I'm sure there'll be justice to a certain extent. At least he comes back and faces the wrath of the law, because that is something which I would expect the SIT to do. Because once you start doing this to these politicians who occupy a certain position of power and who owe a certain allegiance of duty to the people, to the electorate who have elected them into these positions, then I think it makes a big difference in terms of resuscitating the faith of the people in the law and also ensuring that the rule of law prevails and ends of justice are met. And for that, I believe, once again, I repeat, Times Now will have to continue to do this tracking. Otherwise...
No, we will do everything we can to ensure that justice is done, just like we've done in other cases. And, our viewers would remember that you've been with us, through all those campaigns that we've led on Times Now. So I can, say that with some amount of, confidence. Imran is also joining us. Imran, the questioning set to begin anytime now. Are there more people that the SIT team is tracking so that they can get to Prajwal?
Well, absolutely, Pranesh. The more important thing is when is Prajwal coming. That as far as his ticket was concerned, it was 15th of May, but it looks like it could be postponed as he's landed in Dubai, and since his father has been arrested over this case where in Mysuru, where allegedly he had kidnapped one of the victim in the case, and his son has lodged the complaint over this particular issue. He had moved for bail, and the bail was cancelled was not granted by the court, and he was supposed to move to the CID office today at 7 o'clock as per the advice of his astrologers. But before that, the CID office went to former Prime Minister Deve Gowda's residence, and they have arrested Prajwal, H.D. Revanna over this issue. The key main accused in this case is Prajwal Revanna, and two of his associates, one of his associates has already been picked up by the Mysuru police in the kidnapping case. There are two more who will likely be questioned in this case, Pranay. And the other more important case is that there are 3 FIRs registered in this case, and 2 of which relates to Prajwal Revanna, and one first FIR which was registered, that was Holi Narsipur. Let me remind our viewers that in that case also, accused number 1 was H.D. Revanna and accused number 2 was Prajwal Revanna.
Okay. Mr. Kothari, there's also a theory that the police, or at least the government, knew about this case at least 3 months in advance, but they chose to, turn a blind eye. This has been said by, top leaders, including Home Minister Amit Shah, that the Deputy Chief Minister was aware. Did he go and speak to the Chief Minister? But, let's not get into the politics. But as an advocate, do you think the delay will eventually come back to haunt the victims?
in these kind of cases, any delay will continue to haunt the victims mentally more so than anything else. But if it's 3 months, as you said, right? You said 3 months, right?
Yes.
Right. So 3 months is something, whether it was deliberate, whether it was unintentional, whether it was accidental, coincidental, all of these things are a matter of speculation. And I think criminal law does not have a limitation period, to put it legally. So I think it's very important that, the court takes a look at it very, very seriously. And at the end of the day, the court ensures that this delay should not be actually affecting the victims as such.
Deepak, Imran, thank you for joining us with the inputs. Mr. Kothari, always a pleasure to have you, break down things for our viewers. With that, we're taking a short break. On the other side, more breaking inputs there we're tracking. Please stay with Times Now.
Kane, sir, your dinner.
On a tile? It's antibacterial.
Easy to clean.
But plates? Kane bhai, it's a tile lad.
IM Plus टेक्नोलॉजी से बने वर्ल्ड क्लास टाइल्स, टाइल हो तो सिंपल हो।